Another form of what? Value. That's how people value, in a nutshell, the US dollar at the height it is today. Even though it's losing value, it was never valuable in the begin with, because they can print this worthless piece of paper when everybody was trading with gold. You know what I'm saying? How do you get people to buy in to you saying, yo, you should let me get this big ass house for this piece of paper with this old cracker face on it? How you do that? You go back to 1973 and you look up the Petro Dollar contract. That's what the hell happened. Every country to buy oil, and if you look at that paper, if every country that buys oil, they can only buy the oil with the American dollar. So what does that do? If you make the dollar, right, you got the resources to make the dollar the piece of paper. He's China. Fuck that. We all Edomites. He's cousin Bob, I'm your cousin Jim. Just because you my cousin, I got like 1,000 of them at my crib laying around. I go to China, we need that. Now, I'm a millionaire. You see that? He goes to Africa, what's the dollar? Yes, yes. That's why when you go, our money goes up, it translates higher. That's how, this is where this shit came from. This is where this shit came from. This is how they got a piece of paper to be, how can you buy gold with a piece of paper? That shit is nuts. This is how he did it. That's the serpent. That's the serpent, man. That's how he did it. And they made their whole nation of people millionaires, man. If you got 1,000 of them and you go to China back in 1973, you probably a billionaire. Y'all got the resources to keep printing shit. That's how they did it. Let me see this.
Quote-unquote inflation.
Now, it says petroleum only bought redeemable with US dollar. Just went over that. That was their strategy, AKA how the dollar became popular. Which is, popularity is another form of valuable. In high school, a chick will F you, you know what I'm saying? She'll lay down with you just because you popular. You know what I'm saying? You won't be bullied just because you popular. You won't be, motherfuckers will do whatever just because you popular. Nigga use that, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, for whatever reason. It says, in America/Americans came up. That's that cunningness/guile. That's the same tactic that the serpent used on Eve. He got Eve to give up her lineage as being a god. She wasn't a god, but she was of the god lineage. You know what I'm saying? She lost her immortality just because that's a lesson one's gonna have to go into. Just think about that. He was envious of that. That was a man. That was Esau. That was that same spirit. This is the same cunning ass devil. Now, let's go deeper. The petroleum/AKA oil, that's what you know it as. It's also actually just crude oil, but it's just a substance that comes from the earth. It's petroleum, that little Vaseline that come in the bottle, right? Now let's get into it. What is oil used for? What you know now to just be petroleum or crude oil. When they saying oil, they're talking about petroleum. They're talking about crude oil. It says, what is oil used for? This is from a random ass, found this shit out just by a couple searches, certain questions, right? I was able to break this down, put this shit together. I seen this on the goddamn picture. It says 57%, but you know this off top of your head. You ain't gotta know the percentage. What is oil mainly used for off top of your head? Cars, airplanes, everything that take oil. It says right here 57% road transport, 18% air transport.
Transportation.
Right? 10% chemical feedstocks, etc. 10%. So what is chemical feedstocks? That's all like chemicals, right? Because I don't want to say like example. Did you know Old Spice has oil in it? Petroleum. So this devil got us using shit that go on cars on our body. Yes, from the earth, but he using this shit. It's used in the goddamn a car. That can't go in your body. Something not making sense. It says 8% other, 7% industry. Break it down further. Crude oil, aka global crude oil consumption. This is from what is it? A census when they do the numbers and shit.
Consumer like survey.
Exactly. 2012. This is what this from. They got 63.7% being for transport is what oil is used for. So oil is used for over half of the things on the earth. 16% non-energy use. 11.8 other. 8.5 industry. Right? And what is industry? Industry is warehouses. So this shit is spot on because if you put on this one, this was a whole different one. If you put 57 plus 18 together, that's what? That's about 70%. You know what I'm saying? For road and for transportation, period.
That's like 80%.
That's damn near 80% oil, man. And the rest is just random shit. Half the stuff you use got shit it's the same substance they put in these goddamn cars. To make your car work, you need oil. You know what I'm saying? This shit is nuts, man. And then, so technically, Saudi Arabia, Esau owns your oil. But that's why you wanna, they low key, ironically by the spirit, these ones just, they're finna drop, they're dropping that contract now. Cause they realize, after all these years, you can only buy, how the fuck you gonna buy my oil? It ain't they oil come from the earth, but they run it cause it's in their area. How you gonna buy this oil that I run in their dollar?
Going back to the whole Panama Canal situation.
They the serpent, man.
It's the very same thing.
Esau is really the so-called white man. And that's the same shit. He's stealing all Earth's resources. If this petroleum of the earth, that's showing you the stuff that the Lord gave us, is that powerful. This nigga putting the shit in the goddamn airplanes and shit, polluting the whole earth. So you taking something is valuable that you done understood it to be, which was natural, man. And you taking it and you polluting the whole earth. That's why cars gotta get emission tests from the smog and all that shit. All those streaks you see in the air half the times ain't even clouds. That's coming from these goddamn inventions this fucking wicked ass genius that came up with. Now, when he don't wanna, and then if you look up, look it up, just be simple. Where does most of the oil come from? It's gonna say United States. Where the hell are oil plants at here? That's a goddamn lie. You know why? And then if you look, it got like, I think 15 basically places. No, it's like 9. 5 out of the 9 are all Edomite nations. Norway, Mexico is on it, but shit, Esau running Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I think UK, Saudi Arabia, obviously at 9% was the highest. You know what I'm saying? So thus proving this deal was literally it. Most of the oil comes from Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is still neck and neck. But you know who they got number 1 on the list? United States. But that's a goddamn lie, because where's the oil coming from here, man? Why the hell we everywhere else? Why we here protecting nothing? Don't make no damn sense. But really what this showing you, the places that he done sent his militaries, right, and he's running, that's what he counting the United States is having oil from. It ain't here. Now, when Esau don't feel like doing that, he got this thing called the pyrolysis plant. And look at this. This is some shit I just seen. It said waste mainly plastic made into oil. So you basically could take waste. This was the cats. Look up a pyrolysis plant. Their cats, their slogan is turn your waste into wealth. Because they take your waste, your plastic bottles, your water bottles, your plastic Dorito, you know the party bag, the Dorito chips, the Fritos and Lay's, all in the combination, the combo bags they come in, that big ass plastic bag, they take those same plastic bags because they made out of oil. Plastic is made out of oil. And they re-break the shit down and make it into oil again. And they probably put that shit in the gas station as fake car oil. The whole earth polluted. When you put your goddamn food in those Tupperware bowls, and you learn about leaching, it's that damn serious because plastic comes from oil. They put oil in fucking airplanes, so you eat fucking oil. You can't eat oil. This damn devil, man. It says waste, mainly plastic made into oil, aka turn waste into wealth. Last but not least, brick, cement, glass, and steel plants, which are factories. So a brick factory, a cement factory, a glass factory, a steel factory, all use oil. All need oil. So you going down. We know everything about you, you goddamn devil. By the spirit and power, how about Shem Shot. This damn devil, man. That's it. You just Google that shit. This man raped, robbed, and pillaged the whole earth. We basically breathing oil right now. Because all we see is airplanes flying. Because the oil not pure no more. You know what I'm saying?